Flavius Aetius. I remember. He was the Roman general who defeated Attila and his hordes in the terrible battle of the Catalonian plains. Flavius Aetius, the one they call the last of the Romans. He was assassinated by his own emperor, who was jealous of all his victories. But how did he end up here? Flavius Aetius. Flavius Aetius, the one they call the last of the Romans. He was assassinated by his own emperor, who was jealous of all his victories. But how did he end up here? Flavius Aetius. It was cut a long time ago. You can tell by the rough hacks of the tool and the patina of the stone. This sarcophagus is very ancient. I'd say it's several centuries old. This sarcophagus has been ravaged by time. It's sort of ageless, I guess. It's entirely sculpted. These symbols, these grooves, cuneiform script. This is humanity's oldest alphabet, the language of Babel. Sadly, no one today even knows how to decipher it. There's also some text engraved beneath in ancient Greek, Sargon. Is this the tomb of a king? Judging by all the sculpted symbols of power, this is really ancient. The inscriptions are all eroded. I don't know what those marks mean, but maybe a stone or an epitaph. We can see that this lance has a leaf shape, and, well, it's in gold. I can see that a crucifix is engraved on the tip, just barely visible. There's several spearheads. I need to find clues to pick the right one. Piaggi knows something about it for sure. The sarcophagus of Lord Mortimer. Let's see what we can find here. Ha! Great! Now let's see what's inside. The sarcophagus of Lord Mortimer. It's the only sarcophagus in this crypt which appears to bear the Mortimer family name. What ancestor can it be? There's no inscription. This sarcophagus is engraved with the name of Clemens III. Good God! The one whose cross allowed me to enter. Clemens III. Clément III in French. How come his tomb ended up here and not in the Vatican? He was basically an anti-pope. His path to the throne was pretty turbulent, and he had to be enthroned several times. The result of a long conflict between the papacy and the Holy Empire. That was the Pope from the Middle Ages who inspired the Third Crusade. He gave the Roman people the power to elect their magistrates. This sarcophagus is beautifully made, but ancient. Stone is marked by the passage of time, but it's really well preserved. I can see that this spear has a so-called leaf shape. It is copper rimmed. I can see the tip is engraved with the symbol of the Eye of Ra. The Bible must mean the lance which finally took the life of Christ. The Gospel of St. John is the most detailed on the subject of the crucifixion. When they came to Jesus and saw that he was dead already, they broke not his legs, but one of the soldiers with a shimmering lance pierced his side, and forthwith there came out blood and water. And he that saw it bore witness, and his record is true, and he knoweth that he saith true, that ye might believe. A shimmering lance? What is this telling me? Medieval Hermetic traditions evoke the idea of using noble materials for relics, which the monasteries often made themselves in order to attract pilgrims. Of course, they had to inspire greatness. So here, we might think of gold, whereas a centurion could not have hoped for anything better than copper at the time. The true lance would not have been a luxurious weapon.
What can I do for you, sir? I am at your service day and night, sir.
As I was unable to bring my personal effects with me, I was wondering if you could find me a few items.
Of course, sir. What would you require?
A little Carmelite water would do me a lot of good. Could you find me some, please?
Oh, the tonics are under lock and key, sir. Lord Mortimer only allows access to them in cases of emergency.
Listen, I suffer from terrible migraines, and the voyage by boat has brought on my rheumatism. So, unless you have anything else to alleviate the pain, please give me some quickly. Thank you. Oh, and the one from Bordeaux, right? I prefer it to the one from Paris.
Immediately, sir. Here, I hope sir will get well again quickly. Anything else, sir?
I still haven't quite recovered after that boat crossing. Would you happen to have any devil's thorn by any chance?
I am sorry, sir, but the devil's thorn may be just a plant, but it is also a powerful psychotropic drug that causes undesirable diuretic effects. I would advise against sir taking any.
You see, Tribulus cystoides is from the Zygophalaceae family, very rich in nitrates and potassium chloride. It was used in India 700 years before Christ, my good fellow. And I know nothing better to perk you up.
Oh, as sir wishes. Here is the herb, sir. May I help you in anything else, sir?
Tending children at the orphanage in Harlem. I find it a little hard to understand this painting choice.
Dear E, I received your last letter. Unfortunately, the Crown informed the Golden Order that our mission should under no circumstances hamper Sir Gregory's plans. Decidedly, they have support from the highest level in Buckingham Palace. So here we both are, hands and feet tied, and little room to maneuver. Keep me abreast of events. Our mission is becoming more complicated. Yours, E. T.S. The French chapter of the Order doesn't appear to know anything about the arrival of our friend Sarah. I therefore cannot comment on it. However, my guess is that she has come here for personal reasons.
A letter from William Pitt the Younger, addressed to Emily. He's the present Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Emily has indeed some powerful backers. Madam, thank you for consoling the Queen. The King's situation is worsening, but I wager he'll recover from this present fit. Next time you speak with Her Majesty the Queen, would you please be so kind as to ask her to look into my petition to raise taxes with the King? I will personally see to it that our nation will recover from this impasse. But King George's mental situation is slowing down our decision-taking. Thank you in advance for all your help. William Pitt, Prime Minister of the United Kingdom of Great Britain. Duke Manuel Godoy. Huh, that's me. Monseigneur, His Eminence Cardinal Piaggi. The Cardinal's not in his room. I bet he went back to stuffing himself. My dear Giuseppe, poor health forbids me from joining you. Please thank Sir Gregory for his invitation to Lord Mortimer's. I'm convinced you'll be able to strengthen our agreements. Please tell Sir Gregory that his enterprise concerning our friend, Cardinal Bishop Chiaramonti, is following its course. I place my trust in you. May God bless you and give you protection. SS Giovanni Angelico Praschi. Venus and Cupid with a Satyr by Correggio. Innocence, indiscretion, and lechery. Giuseppe must love that. Venus and Cupid with a Satyr by Correggio. Innocence, indiscretion, and lechery. Giuseppe must love that. Let's have a look at his personal papers. Of course, it's in Latin, the language of the church. All those hours of learning Latin declensions are going to pay off in the end. Mother will be proud. Now this could be interesting. Let's say a sancte, various representation criteria, of which are shown the most common throughout the centuries, and in different forms. If Piaggi's notes are anything to go by, the weapon I'm looking for is shaped like a tapered spear. And that should help me identify it. The Cardinal's not in his room. I bet he went back to stuffing himself. The Lying Girl by Boucher. Here's a painting of mischievous eroticism. I wonder what Piaggi must think of this. Love Triumphant by Caravaggio. Now there's someone for whom the sex of angels is no mystery. My dear Giuseppe, President George Washington. June 11th, 1791. My dear Elizabeth, your last letter gave me much cause for concern. Your words were so cold, as if emotions no longer matter to you. Father maintains that the secondary effects of your treatment still trouble you, but that they will soon subside. Should I believe him? I cling to the belief that we shall soon see each other again, at long last. Right soon. Your loving sister, Abigail. P.S. Don't forget to tell me what present you want. August 24th, 1792. Elizabeth, I'm driven to despair and doubt there is any point in writing to you. I'm not even sure you'll receive my letters. Father controls my correspondence more and more. I am certain he filters our exchanges. Thankfully, one of the chambermaids is able to help me get my letters to you. But they still remain unanswered. I often think about you and pray every day to be able to hold you tight. We have so much time to make up. I beg you, answer me, please. Your loving sister, Abigail. P.S. That horrible woman came again yesterday. She spent a long time speaking with Father. I didn't understand everything because they spoke in French, but I'm sure they were talking about you. November 1791. My dear sister, the cancellation of our reunion hit me like a stab to the heart. Father told me it was for your well-being, but I can't help but blame him. He claims that your condition has worsened and that it could be dangerous for both of us if we met. If only I knew where you were, believe me, I'd be at your side. I haven't received any news from you in a long time. Please write. Your loving sister, Abigail. P.S. I hope you like the enclosed talisman. My dear Elizabeth, I'm writing to inform you of some unfortunate news. We won't be able to meet as planned on the first Sunday of May. I've been told that you're no better, and, unfortunately, your brothers and I are absolutely snowed under by the work required to govern this new country. Please excuse us. As soon as we can get free, even if it's just for a day, I promise we shall come and see you. Your loving father, John Adams. P.S. Don't hold it against your mother. She still isn't ready. Please don't judge her. I'm sure you'll be able to put all of this behind you one day. Your Eminence, would you have a moment to spare?
Not now, Louis. Please, leave me alone.
I beg your pardon?
I want to be alone.
Very well. I'm only searching for information about the lance of Longinus, the soldier. If you could...
You are not listening to me. You are playing with fire.
I see what you mean.
Louis, don't push it. Leave while you still can.
Your Eminence, are you all right? Your Eminence, are you with me? Can you turn around, please?
What do you want to know about the Holy Lance, Louis?
Your Eminence, turn around.
This is the weapon used by a Roman centurion on the very day Christ was nailed to the cross.
Look at me.
Longinus thrust his lance in the right side of Jesus.
Please.
As you wish.
His nose is bleeding.
So, you are looking for the Holy Lance of Longinus, are you?
Your Eminence, you're worrying me. What is happening to you?
Nothing, Louis. Just a moment of weakness, but I'm better now. I am all ears. You are looking for the lance. You should know, you are not the only one. Lord Mortimer has spent a good part of his life and his fortune trying to find it. Never will he let you have it. But tell me, before going any further, have you spoken to anyone else about this?
No, you are the first I've spoken to about it, Your Eminence.
Come now, Louis. Are you quite sure of that?
No, Your Eminence. I thought you'd be the only one able to help me with it.
Your words lack conviction, Louis. If I'm asking you all these things, it's for your own good, you know. You have no reason to lie to me. Imagine you find it, which I don't doubt, given how resolute you are when you've got something on your mind. Then what? What are you going to use the lance for, exactly?
I need it.
Why?
You won't understand.
Try me, Louis.
I need to protect myself with it.
Louis, I thank you for your sincerity. I shall answer you about Longinus. You deserve to be told. His spear-headed lance did indeed pierce the side of the Messiah. His blood gushed out, covering the head of the lance. It was covered in the blood of Christ.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Eminence.
You are welcome. Be careful, Louis. You are on a perilous path. Don't follow Sarah's demons, my boy. Don't delve too deeply into her delusions, or you won't be able to come back. The demons that she is frantically trying to drive away are in her own mind. Take good care of yourself. God keep you.
President George Washington. Monsieur Johann von Wulner. We can see that this lance has a particular spear shape. It is coated in gold. You can distinguish the symbol of the fish engraved on the tip, barely noticeable. This lance has got a blade in the shape of a spear. Its blade is an iron or steel, I think. I can make out a rising sun engraved on the tip. We can see that this lance has a leaf shape, and, well, it's in gold. I can see that a crucifix is engraved on the tip, just barely visible. Let's take a look at this lance here. It has a very special leaf shape. It is copper rimmed, and I can see a fish symbol engraved on the tip. I can see that this lance has the shape of a boar spear. The blade is partially coated in copper, and I can just make out the symbol of the Eye of Ra engraved on the tip. There's no room for error. Am I sure this is the one to take? I'm already pressed for time as it is. Mother's waiting for me on the wharf.
De Richet, sticking your nose everywhere again.
Wow, what's the matter with him? Excuse me, monsieur. I don't follow you.
I haven't come all this way just to fail so close to the goal.
Why? What are you talking about?
I am talking about what you are doing. This conference is going to boost my career. There is no question of me letting you ruin everything. I just surprised Biaggi and Volner talking. You are about to rob Mortimer. Give me what you took from him, immediately.
Let's keep calm, please. I don't know what you're talking about. I'll have to cut this short, quick. Beatrice, the Miller brothers. Mother expressly forbade me from reading it. Am I disturbing you?
Monsieur de Richet, it seems you are everywhere.
At least he hasn't noticed my arm.
Was Mr. von Wollner able to help you?
Help me?
Yes. For your armillary sphere.
Oh, yes, that.
Louis, everything all right?
Yes, excuse me, I was miles away.
Oh, while you're here, you wouldn't know who the last guest is, would you?
What do you mean?
I heard Sir Gregory speaking about it. A certain Al-Asif something or other.
Who? What?
Obviously not. It's not important, forget it.
No, hang on.
It doesn't matter, I'm telling you. We'll find out soon enough. I'm in a hurry right now. I'm waiting for someone. See you later, Louis.
Shit. I haven't time either. See you later.
Ah, Louis. Perfect timing.
As luck would have it.
Come, my boy. I would like to have a word with you. Come closer, please. It's time we had a little chat. I wanted you... Oh no, your hand! Damn it, no! So that's it. She is prepared to use you.
What do you mean?
It wasn't enough for her to lose her hand. She had to make you lose yours, too. I cannot permit this to continue. Louis, it's time you found out the truth. I've been observing you since you arrived. I see you running all over the grounds in the search of Sarah. I would like to prevent her from leading you even further down the wrong road.
The wrong road?
Louis, Sarah has made her own choices of her own free will, and I would like for you to have the same chance. You see, Sarah and I have known each other for a very long time, Louis. I am aware of her theory. About me, about Gregory, about the demons.
So you're gonna tell me she's wrong, and that she's a liar?
She's right. Look at me. I have inhabited this body since 1191. For the last 602 years, I have been this dear William Mortimer.
Lucifer, the fallen archangel, left heaven accompanied by 133,306,668 angels. Is it true that there are that many of you?
No, I assure you, Louis. Forget your Bible class. It's ridiculous. We are not angels. We don't have wings. There is certainly nowhere near 1,000,000 of us. And for that matter, no sacred human text represents us correctly. There are several families, and the family to which I belong has 8 siblings, including Gregory and myself.
Sir Gregory is your brother?
Yes, what can I say? You can't choose your family. But it is very difficult to know exactly how many of us there are because a large number of our kind remain hidden or never reveal themselves even to us.
Continue.
Louis, it's time you open your eyes. Come, you'll soon see.
After you. Did what happened to Elizabeth Adams have anything to do with you?
Unfortunately, the poor girl became an issue between us, in spite of herself. A family of demons is still a family, and as in all families, there are disputes. Elizabeth's family, the Adams, has always been under the patriarchal control of my father. As he and myself are not really on very good terms, sending poor Elizabeth here was terribly rude of him, really.
You did accept, though.
No, I would say rather I was presented with a fait accompli by Gregory and went along with the intention of helping her. But this is my castle, and everyone is the master of their own home.
It was you who killed her.
The child was already condemned, Louis. My father would never have let her be. I had to pass inside her mind and, yes, make her take her own life. Trapped between the unyielding control of my father and your mother's terrible treatments, I wouldn't wish a life like that on anyone. Would you?
So neither my mother nor Peru were ever guilty. You just gave me the runaround with that whole investigation.
Now don't take it the wrong way. I was obliged to keep up appearances so that Gregory wouldn't suspect me. And it enabled me to size you up, Louis.
So, von Borchert, he was looking for the Al-Azif for you.
Exactly. Al-Azif has always belonged to my family, Louis. And with good reason. My father wrote much of it. Can you tell me what you've done with...
What, you mean the Al-Azif?
No, I already know that. Sarah came here with it and got rid of it. I was thinking of von Borchert. He isn't essential, but he is a trusted person.
He's a prisoner at our headquarters in Paris.
All right.
If you could manipulate us mentally, what's the point of all the theatrics of the conference?
You must suspect that we asked ourselves that very same question. For many centuries, we didn't organize any conferences, and most of the time, it ended in civil war between demons. Many of us were killed during this period. The idea of organizing conferences was the answer to everything. The interest being to erect some rules among ourselves. Our family first divided up all the principal countries of the world. Now, whenever one of us wanted to propose a major change between these countries, they summon the demon in question and initiate a conference. The demon that initiates the proposition doesn't have to give notification of the subject of the conference beforehand. Consequently, we participate along with our best assets. Once the humans are brought together, the conference begins, but we are forbidden to use our talents to influence the participants. The first meeting is held in order to expose the subject to all the participants, followed by several days of reflection, during which we are allowed to be persuasive but not to impose our will. A second meeting closes the conference with a final vote.
So, for you it's a game, isn't it?
I understand your remark, but after living several centuries, you stand back and enjoy what reflection and pleasure you can.
But how do you agree on global policy?
Locally, we often have competing interests, and sometimes we start wars between men which are linked to our disagreements. Most of the time, our father steps in and gives directives, which my family follow to the letter. Indeed, in my opinion, it is high time we moved on.
What do you mean?
I mean that a new era must begin. The old monarchic regimes are outdated, and it's time to evolve. I hope I've answered all your questions, Louis. Come, I've something to show you.
There is one question that remains to be answered. Why me? Why tell me all of this?
Oh, haven't you guessed yet?
My lord, I don't know if I can answer in all honesty.
Please do, Louis. You can say anything to me, believe me.
You must admit, being surrounded by all these servants isn't doing much to relax me.
Oh, forget the servants. They're only here to ensure my safety.
Why? What are you afraid of?
Well, I wouldn't want you to get the wrong idea, Louis. But you have spent your entire life fighting the occult. You have just stolen the Holy Lance from me, and I do happen to be a demon. Do you not realize the power that relic has on a demon?
You mean to tell me the lance can kill a demon?
The lance is marked with my father's blood. It has acquired the capacity to block us inside our host. If a demon got injured by the Holy Lance, they wouldn't be able to change bodies. If the wound were mortal, the demon would surely die.
Wait, hang on a minute. Did you just say that Jesus Christ was your father?
That's right. It corresponds to one of the periods when my father had a dire need to show himself to men. You see what that led to.
So, you're telling me that all of Christendom has been built on the myth of a demon?
Ironic, don't you think? But it is essential that men remain oblivious to that fact, Louis. I'll let you imagine the cataclysm that would erupt and tear through all of the religions if ever they found out the truth. Look, we are of the gods, Louis. Always have been. You, as much as me, you are one of us, Louis. You too are a demon.
Are you serious?
You know it. Deep down inside, you know I am telling you the truth. Where do you think that natural, charismatic presence comes from? Your talent must already have manifested itself somehow. Have you ever had any visions?
No. Stop it. It's absurd.
Have you never found yourself suddenly inside someone else's body without knowing why?
No.
Whilst asleep, maybe? That's how it often happens the first time. Your spirit wanders unconsciously.
My mother can't have lied to me about that.
It's true. Your real mother would never have lied to you.
What do you mean?
Louis, I would rather you found this out from her own lips, but it's important that you know. Sarah is not your mother.
What?
I'm sorry you had to find out this way, Louis. But you must know the truth before you commit an irreparable act.
No, no, it's not possible.
You are my son.
Liar!
Well, well. So now you're his bastard. You really took me for a fool. Don't make a move, you clowns!
Everybody keep calm.
Don't say a word or I'll shoot your kid! Not so clever now, are we? At last I found a way to put the pressure on you, Mortimer.
Look, just calm down, monsieur.
You stopped me from ending it all. Because of you, I've had to pay for it. You don't know what it's like. He's in your head. He's in your soul. I never want to feel that again.
Jacques, I did not betray you.
You're just like him!
How dare you threaten me then?
So that's it, is it? You've gone over to his side, have you? It didn't take you too long, did it? So, what are you gonna do now? You've just found out your true nature. What difference does it make?
Jack, I can assure you that what Lord Mortimer just told me makes no difference.
That's what you think. But you're already in his hands. And you don't even know it, Louis.
No, Jacques, it's the contrary. Everything that's been happening here has been carefully planned by the Golden Order for months, and everything is going exactly as planned. Lower your weapon. It's all right. It's over. You'll make it through, and you're going to get your life back.
You're just like him. You are already. You can't see it, or you don't want to see it, but it's already too late. In fact, I haven't got any choice.
You always have a choice. You know very well what will happen to you if you shoot me. You're going to be held accountable, and you will lose everything, starting with your freedom, and then your head.
I told you, I don't care.
Not about yourself, maybe, but what about your daughter? It wouldn't be the same for her, would it?
Shut up! Shut up!
She will be alone, in a world that you know is hostile. What will become of her?
That's true, but...
Don't abandon her. Not a second time. It's your last chance, my friend. It's over. Come now, monsieur.
You know what I told you. Evil and good depend on you, and not on your nature.
Yes, it's true, and the same holds true for all of us.
Monsieur Peru, I am willing to overlook this latest scene. You can thank my son for that. I think, however, that you ought to take your leave for your good and ours, as well as that of your daughter. Not too shaken up. You've experienced many significant events since your arrival.
You can say that again.
For now, I think you ought to find Sarah, my son. You ought to talk things over with her.
So she's been lying to me all along?
Let her justify herself. What's done is done. Sarah must explain herself. You must clear the air. We'll have all the time we need to talk afterwards. But all in good time. Before you join her, I'd like to give you something. As a demon, I would like to introduce you to your first talent.
What do you mean?
Open your mind, my son. Relax. You hold immense power. It's already there inside you. Empty your mind of all thoughts. Just let me show you the way.
I should relax.
Open your mind. Hear my voice. Feel the vibrations and listen to what has been happening to you deep inside, but which you have been concealing. Trust yourself. It's all already in there.
I can hear something.
Now breathe.
It's a sound, very faint.
That's right. Concentrate on it. My voice is growing fainter, but I am here.
Whispers, words, mixed voices.
Focus on one of them. Don't be afraid.
I sense a stream. Some words are clear, but not all of them.
Let them enter into your mind.
Hear them. Now I can hear a clear voice.
Well done, Louis. Congratulations.
What was it?
You are now able to read people's minds.
What?
You heard me. From now on, whenever a human speaks to you, you will be able to read their current thoughts. So, if you need to know something in particular from someone, all you have to do is make them think about it.
But it'd be a violation of their most intimate thoughts, wouldn't it?
To begin with, there's nothing obliging you to do it. You already had the ability without even knowing it. I just gave you the option of putting it into practice if you want. Moreover, it would be wrong to evoke morality here. Every species is different, Louis, and this is the way we are made. That's all there is to it. You are free to use this talent or not. And what's more, it will be up to you to decide what to do with the thoughts you read. That is where the values of right and wrong do come into play. There are also a few rules you need to know that govern this talent when used between ourselves. You can read the thoughts of demons as well as of humans. But be careful. A demon more experienced than yourself will know that you are spying and will often react quite violently. It's considered bad form to play around the psyche of another demon. It's a question of courtesy. But let's be clear. What is most considered bad form is getting caught. So I would advise against trying to read the thoughts of Gregory, for example.
Home?
Yes, the old grump is touchy and rather a stickler about the conventions. On that note, go and see Sarah, Louis. Otherwise, she might leave without you. We'll continue this discussion later if you want. Just join me in my study when you've finished.
Let's see what Mortimer's thinking about.
He is thinking he might not have been clear enough with you. When I told you not to try to read into Gregory or her experienced demons, it also applied to me, of course.
You can hear me think?
Of course I can. I can sense you. For the moment, your mind shines like 1,000 lights because you haven't yet mastered the art of concealment from the psyches of others. So, I give you a weapon, and the first thing you do is try to shoot me with it? If my intentions were evil, you would already be at my mercy. So be very careful on whom you use the talent.
All right. On that note, I'd better be going. I'm expected.
One more thing. If you want to know the truth about your birth, ask her about Paris, 1763, at 12 Rue des Martyrs. That's where she disemboweled your mother to steal you from me.
It's not that I regret all these discussions, but I must hurry to the wharf.
You shot her in cold blood. What is at stake here far outweighs our personal interests. I should...
Personal interests? I'm talking about my sister's life. She was my other half.
Calm down, Emily. Calm down.
Louis, don't come near me.
I warned you what would happen if I found her.
Emily, put the weapon down.
She has to pay for all the harm she's done to me.
Well, to be fair, we've all made mistakes. And look at her, Emily. She's paid for hers.
I'm all alone now.
Duchess, I am sorry for what happened. I didn't have any choice.
Ah, you! Shut your mouth! You had the choice, all right. You use people according to your own desires, without any scruples.
Excuse me, Duchess, but we're in the same line of business.
Shut it!
And as for Emma, she knew only too well.
No, Emily. Look at me. Emily?
What did you say?
You're not like her. Neither you nor Emma are like Sarah. Ever since you got here, you've always tried to help me. I trust you, Emily. And Emma would never have betrayed me either.
No, she wasn't like that. She was loyal. But why did Sarah betray Emma? Why?
Your sister was supposed to hide something, and no one was supposed to have been able to find it.
And she would never have talked, even under torture. So why get rid of her?
Unfortunately, Emily, the creatures who live here employ methods that no one can resist.
I was going to get her out of there for God's sake. So what are you talking about?
Emily, Mortimer's a demon! In the literal sense of the word.
What a...
Lord Mortimer has been around since the Third Crusade. He fiddles with his family records so he can keep maintaining his identity. I know it sounds crazy, but I swear on everything I hold dear, that's the truth.
What? But when did...
Louis, Do you realize what you are asking me to believe?
I know, but it's the truth, Emily.
How do you expect me to accept this? We are in the Golden Order precisely to fight against such beliefs.
Do you remember those deeds we found behind the chimney? They weren't fake. There's a reason why they're all signed by his same hand.
Demons.
In his study, he keeps the Mortimer family tree. They produced only boys, just one per generation since the Third Crusade. And they are all called William. He justifies his own existence, Emily.
Look, I'm going to believe you, but if you're taking me for a ride...
Unfortunately for us, it'd be impossible to even make up a story like that.
All right, I believe you. Thank him. You owe him your life.
I have always been very lucky to have him as my son. I really thought my next breath would be my last.
Well, anything's possible.
This is no time to be joking. Just help me climb aboard this boat, and let's get off of this cursed island.
No, I'm not going anywhere, and neither are you, until you've told me everything.
For crying out loud, what are you talking about?
Paris, 1763, number 12 on Rue des Martyrs.
No. I beg you, please trust me. He's manipulating you. We must leave.
Paris.
Can't you see he wants you? And he'll do anything to turn you against me.
Number 12 on Rue des Martyrs.
He had to pay for what he did to me. I panicked. There she was with the baby due. I thought it was the right time to touch it, but
touch it? By disemboweling her and stealing me from her?
The girl was already condemned to die. He never leaves any witnesses behind. She meant nothing to him. And I absolutely had to find a way of stopping him. I couldn't let him reproduce. I had to stop him propagating himself. Couldn't let him reproduce. I had to stop him propagating himself.
Did you lost your mind or what? How did you stop him by stealing a baby?
He was multiplying. I had to do something. It took me years to pick up his trail again, Louis. From the second I took you in, I couldn't bear to be apart from you. I looked after you, fed you, raised you, like a mother.
You made me in your own image.
No, you're wrong. I devoted my whole life to teaching you to distinguish between right and wrong, so you would have the choice. You are not like him.
But you never told me.
I wanted to. I very nearly told you everything, at least a dozen times.
You didn't though, did you? Why?
I don't know, Louis. I couldn't. Not after Venice.
Talk to me about Venice.
Oh no, Louis, let's go. I'll tell you everything once we get home. Now come.
You never wanted us to speak about it again. Winter 1791. Do you remember?
Louis, no. We agreed to never speak about it again.
Now I understand. We were on the trail of a businessman. We broke into his place one night. We ran into his wife.
Not that, Louis. It's in the past.
She too was pregnant. Was he Mortimer's as well?
Louis,
Answer.
Yes!
What became of the child?
I gave it away.
For him too? You became his mother, didn't you?
No, I gave him to a couple who couldn't have children. I never saw him again.
How many children have you stolen from him?
I saved all of you, Louis. I gave you a normal life. 9. Louis, yes. I made mistakes in the past, but now I'm ready to...
Do you consider me a mistake?
No, not you. You are what I am most proud of in my whole life. You are good. You fight to do right. You are not like him.
Still, he is my father. Why did you steal me?
You don't want to know, believe me.
For once in your life, be honest. Why all this mess? Why do you have it in for him so much? Why?
Because I'm his daughter. I know what he's doing. I see he has his eye on you. He's hovering around you, tempting you. He did it to me before you. And if you don't live up to his expectations, he will cast you away.
Is that what happened to you?
I wasn't good enough for him, so he rejected me.
What do you mean?
He tried to initiate me, but it would seem I am unable to develop his talent. I can't withdraw my mind from my body.
I get it. The reason why you abducted me is because he didn't love you, isn't it?
He doesn't love anyone, Louis. Don't be taken in.
You're not my mother! Oh, crazy woman! I'll never be yours! You're not my mother! Rational and open. I spent my whole life swimming in lies. Emily, what a waste. I feel like I know nothing. That I have to learn everything all over again. I'm a demon. I age more slowly. I can mentally manipulate people. I don't even know if it's a good thing or a curse. No, this is an advantage. I could get used to this pretty quickly, I think. Damn it, what a mess. Come on, man up, Louis. I'm still the same old me. Demon or not, I'm still in charge of my actions. And this father, I know nothing about. Yes, I've still got a lot to learn. It's enough to drive you crazy. Everything I believed in, nothing holds true anymore. Pull yourself together, man. I need to find some answers. There's no way of being alone for a minute? Sir Gregory?
Good day, Louis. I think it would be good to talk. How are you feeling?
I don't know.
I understand. I heard that William spoke to you at last about our nature and our family. It's a good thing, but you must be a bit shaken up.
That's the least you can say.
I bid you welcome among us, Louis. Knowing William, he probably didn't go into any detail about our family, so if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask.
How long has our family been in existence?
We have been here since the very beginning.
What do you mean, exactly?
Are you trying to get information from me?
No, not at all. I was just wondering why that particular question seemed to disturb you.
Let us not insist, then. You yourself weren't very convinced by the question, it seems.
How many of us are there in the family?
We are 8 brothers and sisters.
Well, tell me then, are there any other families like ours?
There are officially 7, but we're the oldest and therefore the most powerful.
What do you mean by brothers and sisters if we can change bodies?
You reason with logic. We have retained the human habit. When we first come into this world, we retain a certain attachment to our first envelope. If we are born as a man, we are brothers. If we are born as a woman, we are sisters. But I must admit, it has absolutely no real importance. They're just bodies. Oh. I see he's teaching you how to read. On the other hand, he obviously hasn't taught you our manners and customs. You can read anyone's thoughts, but know that if you try to read the thoughts of a more experienced demon, he will sense you and might take offense of your lack of manners. And he who is more experienced is more dangerous. Do you understand?
Yes, it can't get clearer than that. Please excuse me. I see. There is still much to learn.
Yes, it's true. You've got some catching up to do, my boy. One thing you must understand regarding any disagreements that might arise between William and myself is his position with regard to mankind.
What do you mean?
Well, for centuries we've been trying to help and therefore preserve humanity. Monarchies are simple and practical. They enable us to inspire humanity efficiently, and I can't understand why William wants to replace them with democracy.
Well, if our goal is to direct the future of humanity, it'd work out easier through a monarchic system rather than a democracy.
I see you're a quick learner. From now on, you know the fence that separates William from the rest of the family. If only he would stop steering the destinies of certain countries like France or the United States of America in such a dangerous direction. It has taken centuries for our family to establish relative peace between demons. Thanks to this policy, we have been able to decide everything by confining the other families to subordinate roles. And now William is obsessed with disrupting everything.
Peace between demons? What do you mean?
I'm not talking about conflicts within our family. If that was all there was, everything would be fine. But several other families, younger but nonetheless powerful, are trying to upset the balance. At present, we dominate most of the major countries around the globe. But some families are pushing, via less influential countries, to gain ground. Do you understand?
As best I can, yes.
When the time comes, you must take up a position on the political chessboard. I only hope your father doesn't take you down with him.
Are you offering me an alliance?
Louis, I do not believe that just because your father is mistaken, all is lost for you. You owe William nothing, so there's nothing obliging you to support him. I want you to make an informed choice. Now go and see your father, see what he has to say, and then think it over very carefully.
That's exactly what I intended to do. Thank you, Uncle.
Don't mention it. If I've been able to help you in any way, go now.
Monseigneur, His Eminence Cardinal Piaggi. President George Washington.
I haven't His Holiness. I haven't the time. I haven't the time.
Monsieur Johann van Vulner.
Louis, I was sure you would stay. I'm proud of you. You have made the right choice. Now you are definitively free from your sister's lies. And from her, in the process. I respect that.
Given what she did to me, she deserved nothing less. And, apparently, I'm not the only one. I'd rather not talk about it.
I understand.
Why didn't you tell me the truth about her?
I thought that might be too many truths to absorb at one time. I intended to tell you afterwards. You were in a hurry, so I made a decision. You've been able to understand and choose for yourself. How do you feel?
Hard to say. Confused about everything? I have to admit, it's been a lot to take in such a short amount of time.
What could be more normal? It may have been a bit brutal, but you've just grown up in a very short space of time. From now on, you can influence your own future. I will guide you. We've all the time we need.
You're not the first to make me that offer.
What do you mean by that?
Your brother, Sir Gregory.
Gregory. Why am I not even surprised? What did he say?
Not much. He bid me welcome to the family, that's all.
Louis, Gregory is my brother. Always has been. And he never goes anywhere to say or do not much. He must have told you that he's worried about me, that he wants to be there for you, and that you ought to be wary of me.
Yes, something like that. I think he's worried about you.
Worried? Marvelous. That's just like him. You know, in a family like ours, we all have a role to play. And his is to worry about everyone else. Let me reassure you, There's no reason for him to worry about me.
And what would my role be in all of this?
That's for you to decide. I'm not trying to force you, Louis. I have high hopes for you, but the decision remains yours to make. I don't impose anything on anyone. I'm just following my own path.
But where does it lead?
I suppose I should explain. For centuries now, demons have emerged in and around great leaders all over the world. But like true tyrants, they have governed with an iron fist in a studded glove.
That's the impression I get.
But you see, people's discontent is increasing, and they are too high up to hear it. They take themselves for gods. Sooner or later, the people will turn against us, just as they have in the past. Each time it's happened, many of us have died. We must master the humans, yes, but gently. And the best way of doing that is by allowing them a free choice, Louis.
So that's your project.
Of course, not entirely, no. It is easier to keep control over people who slumber than people who are oppressed. A man with nothing to lose is a dangerous man. Whereas, if you give him a roof, food, and entertainment, he will do whatever you want. The best way of getting them to achieve something is to make them think it was their idea. For that, they have to feel as if they are free.
Hang on. What do you mean?
Look at the United States. From the start, I introduced an idea that will change everything. The idea that everything is possible. Everyone can become someone. Is there anything more beautiful?
You mean it's not true?
Man can move mountains when he believes it is in his own interest. And what nobler cause is there than his own freedom?
But that's completely immoral.
Immoral? Louis, you surprise me. Morality has nothing to do with it. Morality is a concept that we invented ourselves to domesticate man. Don't react like them. Can't you see? It's all within your grasp.
It's not very noble if you ask me, but maybe you invented that concept too. What will happen if I refuse to subjugate men?
It will come naturally to you, my son. But not with the aim of subjugation, but rather to create the best balance possible. You'll see. It comes to us all after a few centuries. I'm just trying to help you save some time. They are perishable, Louis. They come and they go. They are mere butterflies that take themselves for gods. If we give men the feeling that they are free, I am convinced that they will exceed their limits. And it is only from that condition that humanity shall rise up.
But do you want to dominate or raise humanity higher?
I want it to advance. I want it to progress. Man is our vessel. If he progresses, then so do we. Wouldn't you like to know what we really are?
Who do you mean? Demons?
Yes, us. Our species. I've been searching for centuries, trying to find a way to explain the reason of our existence, but humanity has not yet evolved enough to make any progress on the subject. I am convinced that the sciences will bring that knowledge someday.
So, that's your objective, is it? To understand who we are. I see your point.
Our family clings to its privileges and to the past, and that's how they are putting us in danger. The time has come for change. Now that you know your true nature, there are still a few things I need to teach you.
What do you mean exactly?
A new skill, and not the least, Louis. It's about taking control of a person.
I don't see how I could do that.
I shall help you the first time.
How do you do it?
It's an animal resonance. How it works is still a bit unclear even to us.
Like a wave or a sound?
That seems the most likely, yes. In my opinion, demons are capable of tuning their psychic frequency to that of others. That is why, for example, I tend to surround myself with deaf and dumb servants. The servants dressed in black. I infiltrated them. I opened a channel between them and me, and then I deprived them of speech and hearing. This way, no other demon can turn them against me.
Okay, let's not waste any more time.
I deduce that you're impatient to master what's in store for you. That is good. I thought I'd mix business with pleasure for this first time.
What do you mean by that?
The conference will come to a close shortly, as you know. Not that I'm fed up with archaic diplomacy, but it's time to ensure the success of this project. To make this happen, I would like Piaggi to inform the Pope he has changed sides.
You're going to use your powers to alter the votes?
The real game is about to begin, Louis. Up till now, the guests have been sizing each other up. From now on, it's time for Gregory and myself to play. As well as you yourself. Now, here is my plan. I would like you to join His Eminence in his room.
Just play along. We'll see when the time comes. Very well. And then?
You're going to have to trust me. What we're going to do is painless for the human you are going to invade.
Invade?
Yes. You're going to enter his mind and take control. You're going to influence his actions and his psyche. Make him speak, then concentrate. You must focus on him in order to feel his thoughts. Then, while speaking, you must link with him. Once you're done, you will naturally find your way to the source and enter into his thoughts.
But what if I fail?
Trust in your instincts. You just have to let yourself go. You have the skill. Let your nature come to the fore. You'll see. If you fail, you'll be in for some light banter with His Eminence. That's all. There's nothing to be afraid of.
Very well.
Perfect. Go now. The Cardinal is in his room. You will have to write a letter to the Pope as if Piaggi had written it himself. In this letter, tell the Pope that whatever happens during the conference, he must follow my propositions. But be careful. In order to protect himself from counterfeiters, the Pope had Piaggi's hand tattooed with a symbol to be sure of his identity. You'll see when you're inside him. You'll understand. Once it's written up, just bring it back to me and I'll send it off immediately.
All right. I'll take care of it.
Ah, well. Louis, what brings you back to my chambers?
May I sit down?
Of course, Louis. Don't you feel good?
Yes, but if I'm gonna pass inside you, I'd better sit myself down first. It's nothing, don't worry about it.
Well, what can I do for you?
Right. Now I need to concentrate. I wanted to speak to you, Your Eminence. I wanted to thank you for your help. I mean, for your time talking to me about the Holy Lance.
Oh, and did you find it? It's the crusade of a lifetime for some people, Louis. You are searching for another holy grail.
You're nearly there. Link into his thoughts. Does it annoy you at all?
But what on earth is he trying to get at? Why do you ask, Louis? I don't follow.
For the glory, Your Eminence. I can feel it coming. It's working.
What insolence? Why, really? I am a man of the church, Louis. May God keep me from such ambitions.
Right. Let me in, Your Eminence.
Why?
I've done it. I've done it, damn it. He was right. This is just crazy. I can't believe it. Look at yourself, Louis. You better not get caught. Whoa. I still need to get used to this body. So, let's see about what Mortimer asked me. Right. Well, it's time I got started. Let's see what I can find here to help me write that letter. I have no means to validate my forgery, so I better take my time with it and not make any mistakes. There are 2 letters from the Pope on the desk. I should be able to get a clue or 2 by checking how well they correspond to each other. And here are 3 stamps. All are different. Right. Well, let's start writing. Lord Mortimer asked me to discredit Sir Gregory and to announce Piaggi's final vote in his favor. As an introduction, Your Holiness, thank you for your trust. It even appears that Lord Mortimer and Sir Gregory both have access to obscure, superior forces to help them reach their ends. I think the Papal States, for the sake of their own preservation, ought to condemn this practice of conferences in the future. There's a kind of code composed of 6 letters that they always write under the dates of their correspondence. According to Mortimer, it's got something to do with Piaggi's tattoo. I guess I'll have to write one for today's date. Now, ideally, it'd be better to do without it, but I'm going to need to be extremely clever here. Today, the date is 24/01/1793. In the letters from the Pope, there are 6 letters just below the date, 2 just below the month, 4 others below the year. Piaggi's tattoo. It must be used to establish a connection between the letter of the concentric circle and the numbers shown in the middle. Some figures are the same in both codes, yet they correspond to different letters. The day is not translated. That must be the key to the code. Today the date is 24/01/1793. Today the date is 24/01/1793. I could pretend that the code got erased during the voyage, as if the letter arrived in really bad condition. That would be perfectly understandable given that it's traveled across the seas, right? In one of the letters, the Pope asked Piaggi to change and to stop using his personal stamp. He asked him to use the one with the Pope's motto on it. Must be in Latin. And I remember that. Flore in Domo Domini. This seal is different to the one Piaggi used for the letter he gave me. Yes, I'm certain of it. On it is written, Flore in Domo Domini. Latin, it blooms in the house of God.
Your Eminence, all ready to send... What's he doing here?
Damn it, that's all I need.
Don't worry, he can't hear us.
What do you mean he can't hear us? What's going on here, Piaggi? The old goat is going to drop us. The lousy turncoat. Oh, he'd better not tell me he just fell asleep.
Calm down, my friend. The poor boy has just passed out. We were talking about this and that when suddenly he fainted. Keeled over, just like that.
Huh, really? What a weakling. I wonder what Mortimer sees in him.
Who knows? I was about to fetch someone to take care of him. Would you care to go?
There he is. And there he stays. The perfect opportunity.
What do you mean?
It's been a while now that I've been hoping for a chance to get rid of him.
No, listen, my son. This is all getting out of hand.
Hogwash! I don't trust him in the slightest.
Why not?
Can you keep a secret?
Of course, my son. Would you like to tell me under the confidentiality of confession?
Ach, don't talk rubbish. I don't trust the little runt because he is Mortimer's son. Would you believe it?
How does he know?
Dear God, how is that possible? I am flabbergasted.
We've wasted enough time. What if he wakes up? If you don't want to get your hands dirty, just turn away and leave everything to me.
This is not a decision to be taken lightly.
You're defending him now.
What are you talking about? Of course not.
He's made you change sides, hasn't he? The slime bag. He works for Mortimer. Good thing I already tried to warn Gregory.
I am certain that Sir Gregory would be opposed.
You know nothing! I know Sir Gregory better
That's
than...
against the rules of the conference, Monsieur von Volna. I refuse to go against Sir Gregory.
Right.
Monsieur von Volna, I always act in the best interest of all. I assure you.
Everyone's entitled to an opinion.
You must have lost your mind to want to take such an extreme course of action.
No one's asking you to help me do it.
You can't attack him without running the risk of jeopardizing the conference.
Even though Sir Gregory has the edge?
No, Gregory will never forgive you.
Very well, Piaggi, you win.
I refuse to let you do the first thing that comes into your head.
I don't know what the two of you are up to, but I'll find out sooner or later.
Right. Time for me to get back into my body. Right. Don't just stand there, Louis. Mortimer's waiting for you in the red salon. Song of Roland. Roland feeleth his death is near, his brain is oozing by either ear. With his brain oozing, it's already remarkable that he can feel anything. Atrus, the Miller brothers. Mother expressly forbade me from reading it.
So, Louis, what was your first time like? Bewildering, isn't it?
Here's your letter. I have to admit, the experience was utterly amazing.
Come, tell me more.
Not much else to say, other than I've already developed a taste for it.
Delighted to hear it. Bear in mind that you will discover many new things by going from body to body.
Is it possible to go from one body to another several times?
With practice, yes. Some of us have become masters in the art of bouncing from one body to another, to the extent that they can't be found. But you did it. Gregory, what can I do for you?
I've just come to make sure dear Louis has all the information he needs.
Needs for what?
You are free to make your own choices, William. I would like the same for him, too.
There's nothing I want more, Gregory.
Your schemes will lead to your demise, brother. Don't involve Louis. He has nothing to do with all this. The end of the conference approaches, and this masquerade will soon be torn asunder. Don't drag him down with you in your disgrace.
Oh, ye of little faith.
On the contrary, brother, Louis has just entered the family. Give him a chance to find his place.
His place?
Don't listen to him. He's angry with our father.
And with good reason. He governs us in the same way he governs humanity, through fear and submission.
Same old tune. When will you understand that it's necessary to impose order for things to move forward properly?
You are under his thumb and proud of it. Open your eyes, for crying out loud. His whole system has become outdated, and he's too old to see it. He will lead us to our demise.
Here he goes with another of his grand speeches. William has always been fond of staging big scenes. It's his theatrical side.
Does he have an inferiority complex?
I've told him time and time again, Louis. He always has to take it one step too far.
How dare you? You are blind, brother. Even if the evidence bit you on the nose, you still wouldn't see it. I feel sorry for you.
Tea is drunk hot or not at all, William. When will you learn? It's too bitter. You shouldn't let it brew so long.
I knew you'd be coming along. You are so predictable.
Methodical, I would say. Things must be accomplished in the right order if we want the world to keep turning as it does.
You came here to warn me, sir.
No, to advise you.
Advise me against my father. Why?
I think you are capable of deciding for...
You haven't answered my question. Why warn me against my father? What are you afraid he will do to me?
Well, I wouldn't want him to lead you into... I don't know what absurd adventure in which...
You act as though I were in danger.
I agree with Louis, Gregory. You're trying to pass me off as a villain about to devour him.
That's not funny, William. I won't let him follow you.
You see, Louis, Gregory came here to make you change your mind. It's time for things to change. I acknowledge Father has done many good things for humanity, but his time is over, and now he must pass on the torch.
That's enough. There, Louis. That's the pathetic example your father has to offer. I really am sorry about what happened to you. You don't know our family yet. We can't have given you a very good impression, but bear in mind that we are all against William's project.
On the contrary.
If he insists on going through with it, we will have no other choice than to intervene by force. Consequently, my dear Louis, you're going to have to choose sides. I would much rather have met you in different circumstances.
There you are, Louis. See what happens when you don't follow their orders to the letter.
Louis, I'm afraid the time to decide is now. If you follow William, he will drag you down with him. If, on the other hand, you support me, I can assure you that nothing will happen to you. You won't be blamed for your father's errors.
Ah, the masks are off. I offer you liberty. He obliges you to choose, and shamelessly asks you to betray your own father. That is their true face.
Right. Before I answer, well, I'd better think it over very carefully. Do I intend to embrace my demon nature and take my place on the chessboard? Do I stay out of it and do my utmost to stop them? Or do I renounce my nature and do all I can to stay human? It's useless trying to resist my true nature. I'm a demon. May as well accept it. The sooner, the better. Even if I continue to live as a human, all my friends and acquaintances will inevitably end up dying. And I'll be left on my own, forever. I am a demon and I have to behave like one. The sooner, the better.
So? What do you choose, Louis?
I shall follow my father, Sir Gregory.
Very well. But don't say I didn't warn you.
Please, don't take offense, but I just can't turn my back on him.
It's time we finished what we started, brother. The final vote of the conference over the acquisition of Louisiana will take place in a few hours. I propose you gather your troops and prepare to close the debate.
That's precisely what I was going to suggest.
Come, follow me. It's time for us to get ready.
Do you really think we have a chance of winning?
A chance? You don't know me very well, Louis. We are going to win.
But it only takes one person to vote against us, and we'll have lost.
That's true. That's why none of them will. Why? Because I have an asset that they do not.
Which is?
You.
My friends, prepare yourselves. The conference is about to resume. The time has come to lay down all our cards.
From now on, whenever a human speaks to you, you will be able to read their current thoughts.
You take care of getting the lands. It's imperative. I'll take care of preparing our departure.
She has to pay for all the harm she's done to me.
Meanwhile, let us remain on our guard against any last-minute surprises. I know my brother well. He never prepares for war if he has no chance of winning.
Finding out that I'm a demon makes no difference.
I haven't come all this way just to fail so close to the goal.
If I'm asking you all these things, it's for your own good, you know.
You are keeping up the good work, I see. But I'm telling you, keep your guard up. Everyone is rather on edge right now.
Don't make me your competition, de Richet. You are no match.
trust yourself. It's all already in there. Dear friends, I'd like to thank you for your continued trust and confidence. I admit that during these past few days, there has been much upheaval. I understand you have all been affected by this. Nevertheless, the world doesn't stop turning, and we are in fact on the verge of reshaping the modern world.
That is what we are all here for, my lord.
Thank you for your enthusiasm, Monsieur Bonaparte. Now you all know what we have to do. I cannot warn you strongly enough. If one of Sir Gregory's guests asks to speak with you, remain on your guard. It is highly likely that he will try to rally as many supporters to his cause as he can. Now, please, go and get some rest before the conference begins, which won't be long now. Louis, stay with me a moment, won't you? I'll be needing your services in a certain matter.
Yes, of course. What's the matter?
Louis, you are the only one here who I totally trust. It is very likely that Gregory will take possession of some of the members of our team. I shall keep them in check over the next few hours. However, I'll need you to... how can I say this? To persuade the members of Gregory's group.
What do you mean by that exactly?
You'll have free rein, my son. Persuade all of them. Use every possible means imaginable. But no physical violence, let's be very, very clear about that. You must bring them all over to our side, one after the other. You can do this, I know it.
Very well, Father.
Now go, and come back and see me once you've finished.
I'll be off then.